given that religion is false, why can't I just be a good person? Okay. So there's this often unstated assumption, well, we can't really prove this anyway. They're not real. They're not true. Therefore, why can't I just be a good person? And I do think we're going to come back to this, but I do think there's a very different perspective when we take into question truth claims. For example, if you say, well, it's true that the divine has manifested itself upon the plane of history and given its expression of the remedy for the great ills of the individual and the body politic to gather us all into one, if you will, united community serving to carry forward an ever-advancing civilization and seeks a relationship and a connection with us, this being our creator. But why can't I just be a good person? It sounds very different. It sounds like something's being missed, or they're not quite grasping the first part of that series of statements. So one is that there is this underlying premise of the falsity. Like, these are just traditions. That is not obviously the position of a Baha'i or a Muslim or a Christian or a Buddhist or a Hindu. The other is this concept of heaven and hell. Now, I've done an entire series of videos on perspectives of the afterlife in the Baha'i writings, and this concept of the absolute nature of heaven and hell. And this often underlies it as well, because it's like, well, if I don't accept the manifestation of God, but I strive to be a good person and serve my fellow man, why would God condemn me to an existence of eternal separation and or torture? And this is a legitimate issue, and one that is often brushed off by individuals of different dispensations. And by dispensations, I mean, for example, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism. To me, these are dispensations, if you will, outpourings of the self-disclosure of God, the expression of the sacred into this world. So there's an underlying assumption which makes the issue seem pretty intense, because there's this idea that, well, just because, I try to live a good life and in the end, I didn't accept this individual as being the mouthpiece of God, and therefore I'm condemned to either eternal torture or eternal separation. It's a legitimate concern.